from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, son. 59, 50. Here we go, let's bring it.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
Darnold down to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 23. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
We got this. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now this one is running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Let's get off the field, defense. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
We're going to sign it. Check, 59. Defense wins championships, baby. Hey, son.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And that's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
We're going to sign it. All day, just like that. Just like that.
On first down, it's Darnold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
That's another Steelers.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Again, Darnold. Uncorks one for Davis. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 37.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
From the 17, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Mike, check, 59.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Well, you know, he hated taking the loss there on third down. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a third down.
70s, Indy.
From the gun, Rutherford. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Bradley Chubb has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Darnold. He'll get this complete to Batson. And they work this out past the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 28-yard
Mike is
line.
59. Mike the 50. And 80. I'm coming. Alert flare.
On first down, Darnold. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up, facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Darnold on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Lions. 61 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
On first down, Rutherford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Gordon. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point right down the middle. And a lead down to 3 at 13-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Blue draw quarter.
Out time, guys. Out time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off.
Take four.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
A 6-yard gain brings up 3rd and goal.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Gordon. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Rutherford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And take it right on the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
On second down now, McDowell, and tackled down after a gain of 3, leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Darnold now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry,
who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Mike, 59, Mike, check, 59. You.
Mike spot 9, Mike spot 9.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the gun on 3rd down, Rutherford. And able to find Dorsett. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rutherford, he's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Ready? 50, plant.
54. No chance.
Now.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This is taken around the 12.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
Right there.
They run it here with Gordon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd and 2. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Looking to throw. Rutherford rolling to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. 20, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
To throw on 2nd down. Rutherford buying time to his left. And this will be incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Back to throw. Rutherford eluding the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Cameron Batson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Lions take over first and 10. Let's go. Their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here, 2nd and a yard from the 34. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go jet sweep here with Dorsett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
On 1st and 10, Rutherford. And that's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Another toe for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Rutherford. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Darnold. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
The Steelers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 17.
Alpha. Check 59. What's that?
Darnold. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Ready?
From the gun, Rutherford. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Looking to throw. Rutherford escaping the pressure right. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw here. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rutherford, he's going to air one out. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Lions on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Rutherford going to take a shot for Gallup. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Now on 4th down, honors the punt team sending this one away.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side. McDowell looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Hey, Delta. Check, 59, 59. It's it.
Darnold now to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Ready. 18 Gators. Hey, Haywood.
Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, watch the slant.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And an alley to run. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one good for 33 and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a one-score game. Operating from the gun, Rutherford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. On 4th down, Rutherford. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with next.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
2nd and 1. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. It's a big play there for the Steelers. Give him 58 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback on the keeper. It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus. and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Pittsburgh, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's just their third loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.